Did you know that most aspiring children's book authors think that their children's book is perfect for any age? Well, today I will share with you why it's actually impossible for our children's book to be for everyone. Hi there, I'm Eevi, an award-winning children's author and ghostwriter over on eevijones.com and the creator of Children's Book University. I create videos specifically for children's authors, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my weekly videos. What I have come to see during my many one-on-one feedback sessions is that most children's authors don't realize that their book should be written for a specific age group. So many of my clients and students say that their book is perfect for all ages. Now, I know that we as authors tend to love our stories, right? And we really do believe that every child would truly love and enjoy our book. But sadly, that's just not possible. So in this video, I will talk about why this is simply not possible and why you shouldn't disregard picking and writing for a very specific age group. Every successful children's book has a specific target audience in mind. Now, when I say target audience, what exactly do I mean? Target audience is really a marketing term, and in our case, it describes an audience that an author intends to write his or her books for. Now, this is nothing new, right? In fact, we have the same audience targeting going on for books in other genres. For example, the book Do It Scared by author Ruth Soukup definitely speaks more to females. More specifically, females that are also mothers and entrepreneurs. If you are familiar with my book, How to Self-Publish a Children's Book, you know that this is something I always tell my readers, clients, and students. In fact, whenever I have my very first consultation with my one-on-one clients, that is always one of my very first questions. What age group is your story for? Because if we are writing for everyone, we are truly writing for no one. It's really that simple. If we are trying to please the kids of all ages with one and the same story, we will end up pleasing no one. Now, while the targeting of other genres can be rather broad, like with Ruth's book, Do It Scared, where I said her audience is female, mostly mothers, and that are also entrepreneurs, we children's authors have to be a bit more age specific when it comes to children's books. And here's why. Children's books cover many years of our little ones, right? They are the years they develop cognitively the most. So each stage requires a different structure and setup of our books. And so adapting to each stage and its cognitive ability is important if we want our book to be meaningful, educational, and fun. Now, here are a number of different age groups we can write for, and here is a list of the most common ones. Now, a quick side note here is, please know that there is no one or single list of children's book categories. There are many different ways to categorize these. This here is simply meant to give you an idea of the basic word count and the associated age group. Now notice the various types of children's books here and how greatly they differ in both their use of images and the number of words. For example, a book for 2 to 5-year-olds has usually between 200 and 400 words, while a picture book for older kids usually has up to 3,000 words, which makes a huge difference. And that's why every subsequent decision will depend on what type of book you're choosing to write. And that's why it's important to have one particular age group in mind you'd like to write your story for. Because the more specific you are with your audience, the more specific you can be with your wording and vocabulary, the length, the number of illustrations, and with your story as a whole. So for example, if you're writing for middle graders, you'll be able to incorporate lingo that this particular age group is using. And knowing whether you're writing your newest book on bullying for little ones or for those that are already a bit older, you'll be able to make the situations in the book more applicable and relevant to each by having the story take place either in a preschool or elementary school setting, for example. But why do we need to make this age group decision even before we start writing our story? Now you might be asking, Eevi, why can't we make this decision later on? Well, remember what I said earlier, right? I mentioned that the age group you choose to write for will ultimately be the deciding factor on how long your story will be. The age will determine how many words should be approximately in your story. It will also determine the amount of illustrations and whether or not there should be any illustrations at all. The age will also determine what vocabulary you're going to use, because again, as our brains develop so rapidly as a child, the vocabulary you're using will make an incredibly big difference. Your determined age group even determines the format we should be using. For example, books for 3 to 5-year-olds are often in a square format, while books for 8-year-olds and up are a lot more similar to grown-up formats. And looking at a book's cover, we can also see that the age group determines the look of the cover itself, the overall look, right? How the cover is being created and what is being depicted on the cover. Let's take these right here as an example. Looking at these 3 covers right here, we can see clearly that they've been created for 3 different age groups, right? So we have Llama Llama here, which is very much a picture book, and it's in a square format, which is often publishers' preferred format for 2 to 5-year-olds. The other 2 books are for older kids, both using more of a novel-like format and sizing. But the cover illustration for Junie B. Jones is still a lot simpler than the Story Thieves cover. So Junie B. Jones speaks to kids between 6 to 9-year-olds, while Story Thieves speaks to slightly older kids. So by creating an age-appropriate cover, we are using visual signals to let potential buyers know that they are looking at the right age group. Using this third type of cover for a picture book, for example, wouldn't be as effective for little ones because it could potentially confuse shoppers. And confused shoppers never purchase. So really, a different age group really brings with it a difference in the writing style, the length, overall content of your story, and the overall design of your book. And that's why knowing your target age group from the very beginning will help you set your book up for success. Now, I really want this video to be helpful to you, whether you have already written your children's story or whether you're still working on it. So here are 2 things you can do today that are super simple and really quick and will really help you and your children's book so much. If you've already written your story, I have added a link to this readability analyzer for you below. Once you're there, you'll be able to paste your story into this writing tester and see what age and grade level it comes back with for your story. And this will really help you see if those results match the age group you either originally thought you were writing for, or if you didn't think about your age group before. Hopefully this will guide you for the rest of your book creation, because now based on your results, you can more easily tailor the rest of your book toward that age group. And alternatively, if this age group the result came back with doesn't feel right, you can now go ahead and tweak your story so that it matches an age group that feels more aligned with you and your goals. And if you haven't written your story as of yet and you're not quite sure what age group you should be writing your story for, I have a fun and really quick quiz that I created a while ago that will help you uncover just that. I called it the age range quiz, and I'll be sure to add the link to that below. Be sure to let me know in the comments below about your results and if they match your hopes and expectations, or if they uncovered something completely new and unexpected. Either way, identifying a specific age group for our book and then writing specifically toward and for that age group will make our children's book so much more likely to succeed. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. Here's to you finding the best age group for your beautiful children's book story. Bye!